Be Making Basics.
What's going on, YouTube? Be Making Basics back again with another video. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe because we're coming back to back with bangers. Today's video, I'm going to be showing y'all a quick way to mix your beats in Logic Pro. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So I have this beat actually, and I'm about to go ahead and just unzip it, bring in the files. Put the right BPM. Pretty much first thing I'm gonna do is this highlight everything. And if you push the semicolon, it's gonna bring everything to where the playhead is at the beginning. And then I'll also go to the end and go to the end and put that end marker at the end. I always do that first before I start mixing, but after that, I'm just gonna go ahead and put all my drums at the top. That's just my personal way I like to do it. And you can put your 808 and bass together if you want, or choose not to. But simplest thing I could say is, for me, I think that mixing, the main bulk of it is leveling and EQ, in my personal opinion. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but those are like, getting those two things down is going to be the main thing. So what I do is I'll just go to like the hook or the main part of the song, highlight it, take it all the way down, and then start with like the kick, the snare, and then maybe like some of the main, one of the main melody elements. So for instance, like this ARP is a main melody element if you're looking throughout the beat. So I'll turn that up. And I also turn up the kick. And you want that kick to be bumping. So I'll turn that ARP or that melody part down to where it's loud enough, but it's not competing with the kick. Then go ahead and bring up like the snare elements. Don't want the hi-hats too low or too high, kind of mid-range, middle of the spectrum here. And then we'll go ahead and start bringing in like the 808. And I like to tuck it kind of like right under the kick. Like a lot of times you push it too high, it might sound like it's going hard, but when you start playing it on different speakers that have like a lot of low end or some subs, it's going to be just too much. So I tuck it kind of under the kick. And for the most part, once you get the levels right, that's like really the main part of the mix for the most part. So starting off getting the levels right, then just to clean it up, what you want to do is come and do some subtractive EQing. This is where basically, say like an 808, if you look at the spectrum, most of the 808 is going to come bumping in like between 40 hertz and 200 hertz. And so what I'd like to do is on certain other tracks, take out those frequencies to leave room for like 808s and bass. And let's look at the bass too. You can see. And Now, obviously, with this bass, it's kind of like a synth bass, so it's kind of goes all the way with the spectrum for the most part. But the bulkiest part is going to be between 40 and 200 hertz. So I'll go through, come to this like ARP, take out. Let me put this on this other one. Do the same thing with the snare. Sometimes snares have a little bit of low end on it, so I'll kind of cut that out. And as you can see, I kind of still sometimes don't do like a hard cut. You know what I'm saying? Leave it, like, let it roll off just a little bit. And then just to kind of create a little bit of a stereo image, you can come over here, and obviously you probably want to decide this before doing the EQ, but you can come over here and like decide if you want to make certain tracks mono and certain tracks stereo. I think that sometimes a kick might sound good in stereo. It just depends on the kick. So for instance, let's listen to it. So it just depends on how it sounds. From there, I will come and do a little bit of panning for the stereo image. And then pretty much the mix is pretty solid from here. One thing I will do is, you can see here we got the stereo out and it's peaking. A simple trick is to come over here and just start grouping these different stems and elements together. Like, so maybe like the 808 and the bass. Go to this output, go to the available bus. Now that's on an auxiliary track. I can name that like bass. Do the kick, snares, hi-hats, and stuff like that. That would be like my drums. If I want to. And then finish it off with like your melody. And now I can come over here, and I got the mix already solid, like the levels. Now I can just control the overall levels of things. So taking this down, it's gonna clear out this stereo out. Another thing you can do, only time I really bring in like compression or anything like that is if I feel it needs it. So say if something is not like punching enough, then I'll bring in compression, you know what I mean? Or if I need to, add just a little bit of spice on top of something, I'll add reverb, and usually you can just kind of pick. So like for instance, these ARPs, I'll probably go ahead and throw reverb on it, but I'm gonna do it through the sends. This was melody, and then I'll go over here and then say reverb, and then over here I'll add a reverb. I always use the Valhalla Room on every mix. Put that right there. And then what I can do now is just go to the sends and turn it up just a little bit. Kind of gives a little bit more of a wet feel. And so if this beat happened to have more melody tracks, I would usually just pick like one or two of them, the melody parts, to add the reverb to. You don't want to necessarily put the reverb on everything, but I just did it on this one because the main part of this song is just this ARP, and it's changing up and stuff like that. But there's nothing else to do on that. I don't feel like I need to put anything like on the track, like as far as like compressors or whatever. But what you can do, this is a trick, is come to this auxiliary track and put a compressor on that. And sometimes that makes stuff boom out better in the mix. So let's just check that out. And it just depends on if you feel like it needs it or not. So let's see here. I usually try not to do that because I mean sometimes it is something that you can do, but I usually try not to add stuff to this stuff, right? I really try to keep my mix super simple. It might seem like this is nothing, like there's nothing going on here, but like I said, really it's just the levels and EQing and just adding the compressor and adding reverb as needed. So like for the most part, it would just be me taking this beat and now listening to it on headphones, listening onto other systems and stuff like that, just to make sure that the levels are right. But for the most part on this particular beat, I don't feel like I need to do too much more to it. So it would just be ready to go, done. You know what I'm saying? So what I would do is bounce this down. I'm actually going to turn this into a TV and film beat, so I'm not going to keep the tag on this particular beat. But I would just bounce this down. I'm just going to go ahead and bounce it down for the sake of this video. But I'm going to still come back in here and add a sting and stuff like that. So we had that headroom in here that we created by taking the auxiliary tracks and turning them down some. Basically, I'm now going to bring that back up, because basically what would happen is we have this wave file, and that wave file has headroom. But like if you want to play this on, say, YouTube, BeatStars, DSPs and stuff like that, you want to bring, master the beat. And so what I'm going to do now is open up a new session, and then we can come over here and just bring that file in here. And now I can come and add Ozone. Anyway, y'all, just wanted to get this quick video. Appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you get subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. We're out.